Welcome students. This is the third part in the PN junction diode. So before starting the discussion on the capacitive effect in the PN junction, I want to ask you that do you know whenever voltage across the PN junction changes, why it takes some time to reach the steady state? This is due to the charge storage effects in the junction, which can be modeled by the two capacitances, and these are the depletion and diffusion capacitances. Basically, the depletion capacitance is that capacitance due to the charge stored in the depletion region, as its name is suggesting. And the diffusion capacitance, this is due to the diffused minority carriers into the N and P regions, and mostly in the case of the forward biasing of PN junction. So in this video you will study in detail about these two capacitances, and also I will tell you all the important concepts which you should remember regarding these capacitances. Students, I know that you must be thinking that what kind of question can be arise from this topic. So for that I will present some frequently asked questions. So please watch the video completely and thoroughly, and do not forget to subscribe the channel for more contents. So now let's start the topic. There are two charge storage mechanisms in PN junction. The one is due to the charges stored in the depletion region, and as you know that the depletion region width will get increased in the case of the which biasing? In reverse biasing. And so the charge stored in this depletion region will also increase in the reverse biasing. So the capacitance which is due to the charges stored in the depletion region are called the depletion capacitance or the space charge capacitance. And the second charge storing mechanism is due to the injected minority carrier in N and P region. These are also called as the diffused minority carriers. Students, these carriers will result into the diffusion capacitance. Now these two capacitances, the depletion and the diffusion capacitances, exist in both forward and reverse biased PN junction. But only one capacitance is dominant in one type of the biasing. I mean to say that this diffusion capacitance will be dominant in case of the forward biasing, and in the case of the reverse biasing where the width of the depletion region is very large, the depletion capacitance is greater than the diffusion capacitance. Now let's study one by one the junction and the diffusion capacitance. So the first one is the junction capacitance. It is due to the charge stored on either side of the depletion region. So this depletion region will be widened in case of the reverse biased PN junction. So you can see this is the case of reverse biased PN junction. The charge is given by the equation 1, or we can write it as alpha times of root of V naught plus VR. Let it be equation 2. So as you have seen in this equation 2, there is a non-linear relationship between the charge stored in the depletion region and the reverse biased voltage. So the capacitance is defined by this equation. So now finding the Cj, that is the junction capacitance or the depletion capacitance. So it is given by Cj is equals to alpha upon 2 root of V naught plus VR. Let it be equation 4. So at the equilibrium where the reverse bias voltage is 0, the junction capacitance at equilibrium is written as Cj naught, and it is alpha times of 2 root of V naught. So we can express the junction capacitance in terms of the equilibrium junction capacitance. It is given by Cj naught upon root of 1 plus VR upon V naught, and this will be equation 6. So this is for the abrupt junction. Abrupt PN junction are those PN junctions where the type of the extrinsic semiconductor, that is the P or N, will change abruptly. While in case of the graded PN junction, this Cj is equals to Cj naught upon this 1 plus Vr upon V naught power of m, where the value of m is ranges from half to 1 upon 3. Okay, so let it be equation 7. So this is for the graded PN junction. Graded PN junction are those where there is a gradual change in the type of the semiconductor, and m is the grading coefficient. Now the next one is the diffusion capacitance, which is the result of the diffused or injected minority carriers into the N and P region, and this type of the charges will be maximum in the forward biasing. So now we need to focus on the excess minority carrier charge, and this is the excess minority carrier charge, and for this the excess hole concentration is given by the AQ, product of the shaded area under the PNX curve. Okay, so it is given by AQ, product of PNXN minus PN naught product LP. So this is the area under the PNX curve. Let it be equation 8, and we know that PNXN is given by Pn naught exponential V upon Vt, where V is the forward bias voltage, and putting the value, we have AQ Pn naught exponential V upon Vt minus of 1 product of LP, where LP is the diffusion length. Let it be equation 9. So students, from equation 9, we have the excess hole concentration at the N side, and as you have seen in my previous video that the hole current in the forward bias PN junction is given by AQ diffusion constant upon the diffusion length Pn naught exponential V upon Vt minus of 1. So using this, we can express the excess hole concentration in terms of this hole current, and it will be LP square upon dP product of IP, and this factor LP square upon dP is the tau p, which is the excess minority carrier whole lifetime, and lifetime means that this is the time that hole survived in the N region before the recombinations. So now this excess hole charge stored in the N region is given by the equation 11. Similarly, the excess electron charge stored in the P region is given by this equation. So this charge is directly proportional to the lifetime of the carrier and the current contributed by that particular charge. So now the total excess minority carrier charge is given by summing up the equation 11 and 12. So it is tau p product IP plus tau n product IN. So it is tau t I, where the tau t is the mean transit time of the carriers, where I is obviously the total current in the forward bias PN junction. So this is the total charge. Now we can define an incremental diffusion capacitance CD. It is given by differential of the diffusion charge with the forward bias voltage. So it is our equation 14. So differentiating it, the diffusion capacitance is given by tau t upon Vt product of I, and it is equation 15. and where you can use that the current is given by the product of the saturation current with the exponential of V upon Vt minus of 1. Students, this equation 15 is very important, as we can conclude from this that for high speed the tau t, that is the mean transit time, should be small. Now let's see all the important concepts of the topic. So for the depletion capacitance, this capacitance is dominant or majorly affect the PN junction operation in reverse biasing. Why so? Because the depletion region will widen in reverse biasing. So the charge stored in the depletion region will also get increased, and this depletion capacitance, also called as the junction capacitance or the space charge capacitance, is given by this, where Cj naught is the equilibrium junction capacitance where the reverse bias voltage is 0. So this is for the abrupt junction. For grading junction, this Cj is equals to Cj naught 1 plus Vr upon V naught power of m, where m is the grading coefficient and it ranges from 1 by 2 to 1 by 3. Now the diffusion capacitance. So this diffusion capacitance is dominant or majorly affect in forward bias PN junction. Why so? Because this is due to the excess magnetic carrier charge diffused into the N and P region during the forward biasing, and this given by the equation, this one, where you can see this diffusion capacitance is directly proportional to mean transit time, and this will also define the operational speed of the PN junction diode, where I is the total current of the PN junction diode in forward biasing, and Vt, as you know, this is the thermal volt equivalent. Now let's see the frequently asked questions from the topic. So the first one is, a PN junction operating in forward bias region with a current of 1 milliampere is found to have a diffusion capacitance of 10 picofarad. What diffusion capacitance do you expect this junction to have at the current 0.1 milliampere? And what is the mean transit time for this junction? So it is very easy to find out. To solve this problem, use the equation CD, that is the diffusion capacitance, is equals to the mean transit time upon the thermal volt equivalent product, the total current in the PN junction diode. Now the next question is, what is the significance of capacitive effect in the operation of the PN junction? And the last one is, differentiate between the depletion and diffusion capacitances. I hope you liked the video, so please subscribe the channel for more contents and share it. If you have any queries regarding analog electronic circuits, digital electronics, microprocessors, microcontrollers, embedded systems, VLSI design, VLSI EDA tools, you can write me in the comment section or you can mail me. My mail ID is given in the description of the video. Thank you so much and have a nice day.